Why isn't it going live?
I don't know. We're gonna have to reschedule. I was so amped up.
I wonder if there's a way to do it through YouTube. Hold on one second.
Oh, you mean like?
Because right now we're doing it through the app.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's because there's two people, but shouldn't it tell me that?
We did it. We've done it before through here.
We've done it before through here, yeah.
I used to have the app. I deleted it. I'm sorry.
No, we're live. We are live.
Oh, so you can see it.
I can see it though. Maybe it's just because it's on my channel. Can you see it? I didn't see this
Let
before.
me let me get my computer. Hold on. You can see it because it's on your channel, but can other people see it? How would I go?
Exactly.
How do I get to it?
So go to YouTube. Oh, there's
This
people
is
here.
you.
Pucci, there's people here. Now they're commenting. Yay, you
Oh,
guys. So sorry we're so late. This has been a little bit of a technical issue. So, yay. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad you guys are commenting. It took us about a half hour to figure this out. So, ready? Take two, Pucci.
take
You
two from the
guys,
top.
from the top, sorry about that beginning. I will cut it out after this live stream. But today I am here with a very special guest. My brother, his name is Jose, but he told me when I first met him that everybody who loves him calls him Pucci. So we call him
Woohoo!
Pucci. Pucci was on my channel twice or three times before, maybe. And he is the guest that has been requested to come back the most. You guys have begged me. We tried to do this live and in person a couple of times. Unfortunately, we're in quarantine. So we figured this was the best way to do it. So, Pucci, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself? I'll ask a couple questions and then we'll get to the comments because I'm sure people have tons and tons and tons of questions for you. If you guys have them, put them in the comments and we'll get to them as we see them come through.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It's me. My name's Jose Sabalo. Everybody calls me Pucci. I was gone for 10 years. Now I'm back. Been home almost 3 years now. Well, next month, the 17th, it'll be 3 years in May.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies, don't it?
It feels like because when I first interviewed you, you were 4 months out, and that feels, I thought it was a year. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations, because most people don't
Thank
even
you.
make it a year.
Thank you. And I'm not going back, by the
That's
way.
right.
Nothing. I'm a life coach. Everybody should know that. Small business owner here in Jersey. I'm from Jersey. Dominican. That's about it. Anything else y'all want to know? Y'all could just ask.
Yeah, just put it in the comments. And Pucci's always an open book. He's so honest and so helpful. So, really quick, before we get to the comments, I have a question. We have so many people who are so concerned, rightfully, right now. There's so much anxiety. Their loved ones are on the inside. They're so scared about conditions inside while the coronavirus is spreading. It's in a lot of institutions. We're hearing all of these crazy things. Some people aren't even hearing from their loved ones at all. And I know you've experienced something not quite the same, but a little bit similar with crises on the
Yeah.
inside. So, if you could just, from your perspective, give us what you think is going on, if you have any advice for how we should behave moving forward, help us with the anxiety, anything you got for us.
Okay. So if you can't communicate, for one, if you can't communicate with your loved ones, write them letters, because maybe if they're in quarantine and they can't get to the computers because they're not letting them out the cell, they have to give them their mail every day. They have to walk by the unit and slide the mail under their door, even if they're inside the cell. So write them, and they're able to write you back. That's one thing they cannot take away from them, regardless of the quarantine or not. It might be a little longer because they have to make sure everything's clean and everything. But the process might be a little longer, but it's more secure. It's more for sure than using the email. I'm pretty sure most places, because I got a text from Adam last night through the email, so I'm pretty sure that most places they still, like, maybe they're letting them out in for social distancing purposes, which makes no sense because if they're locked in the cell together, but they have to social distance outside. But um, so some places I'm pretty sure they're letting them out. But if some places might have more cases than others, then they're gonna just move accordingly. That's one. Two, the crisis we went through was a water crisis. There was no water on the compound in McKean. I was in McKean where Adam's still at. Um, and there was no water there for about probably like what was it like almost 2 weeks. I think there was I don't remember exactly. It was almost 2 weeks where there was no water. Something happened in the town that was close, so the water was infected, kind of like the Flint thing. So so they had to bring porta potties onto the compound, and they kind of had to move us out in herds, like one unit at a time, and let everybody use the bathroom. We were improvising. We were like, some of us were using garbage bags, throwing them away. You know, we just had to. They were giving us gallons of water like every day. Then we had to like ration it, like split it up amongst the days, and it was crazy. It's not quite the same, but the reason I compared it to it when we had the conversation before the interview, I compared it to it because of the way they move us during crises. During situations like that, they move you a certain way. They'll like leave one unit locked down, and then they'll move people differently. So my thing is, why is it so difficult inside to shift us around? Because when there's problems, when there's politics in the prison, when you get in trouble, they'll move you out of cells and put you in different cells. So if they know this, and maybe it's because of lack of tests, but if they know that people are sick, they can move them around and put all the sick people like on one side of the unit, and then everybody who's healthy, even though for because this is going on, they can live together for a while the sick people can live. I'm pretty sure they can overlook all the differences they have, because they don't want to die. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
everyone would be like, okay, I like you for a few months at least. So, and they can move them around. So I don't understand. I have a good friend. He's in Yazoo, and some places have a lot of cell phones and stuff. So, and he went live and he was recording it, and I haven't heard from him in a minute, but he's still going live, so he's good. But he was showing me, and he's in a cell with 3 or 4 other guys. There was literally a guy right next to him coughing under the thing, under the blankets, coughing real hard, and they're all in a. So how big is the cell? 8 feet by maybe 6 feet. These might be a little bigger because it's 4 people in it, but and to see this, like, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Sometimes it makes us feel like they're trying to really kill us off. Like we're like second class citizens. Like we don't even matter. And I say we because I feel like those are guys that I really like. I genuinely have love for. Like we create bonds, like real strong bonds while you're in there, and yes, I'm not in prison anymore, and I'm mentally free. Also, he's mentally free. Adam's mentally free. That doesn't matter. Like being in prison is just it's only for a little while, but with to see that is like, damn, they don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, and excuse my language. They don't care
You're
about
fine.
us being alive or dying. It's whatever. We're in, like, I don't know. It's scary. So it's kind of it's sad in a sense, and but it's real. They don't have enough soap. They don't have enough they don't give them sanitizer. They don't have enough soap, and the bullshit soap they give us over there for free, it's like some. It's not no. It's not any like antibacterial soap or like some super strong soap, which they can get because it's the federal government have unlimited funds. They just spent $3 trillion for us to give us free money out here. So and I don't know. It's sad, really. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's sad, it's scary, and I was so grateful you said that your friend in Yazoo is still going live because I posted a video that was made by a guy in Elkton. It kind of went viral. And then I reached out to him to let him know, hey, I'm doing my part because he said, please share this. And it was horrible there. They had set up a tent on the basketball court because they were just putting
Put
the
their
bodies in there.
putting
And
their bodies in
so
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I reached out to him on Facebook, and I just wanted to, I private messaged him, of course. I didn't want to make it public and get him in any more trouble. And he never responded. And a lot of people are saying he was thrown in the hole. And then the BOP actually, in turn, because TMZ aired this, and they said there are no cases there. This inmate's under investigation, blah, 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 blah. So it's scary because we're smart enough to know that they're hiding the numbers and they're
Of
trying
course,
to make it out to be one thing, and it's different than what it really is. But I have heard that this is kind of becoming really mainstream, and they're getting like a lot of celebrities and politicians and everybody on board to potentially, let's hope, just trying to see the silver lining. It's awful, but let's hope, expose the conditions that have been inside, especially feds, because that's both of our experience, but inside prisons, period, across the board in the United States for so many years that we've been fighting to get changed. Like, this is proof that things are getting brushed under the rug. Things are really bad in there. They're a
of
lot
course.
worse than public knows. So it's good. And one more question before I go to the comments, because I already see there are a bunch. Monday, I posted a video about a guy that escaped from Butner. And he was saying, I'm glad you're giggling. He was saying that he didn't think that he had any other choice. And it was very controversial in the comments. And some people were saying that they thought I was jealous of this guy because he escaped and Adam didn't, which could not be further than the truth, because you and I both know that he would never, first of
Adam
all, and
would not
second of all,
escape.
never. And second of all, if he did or called either one of us, we'd both be like, climb back over. And he would never. But I would like
You
to know
might say
your
climb. Wait, you might say climb back
you're like,
over.
we're going to the Dominican.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go get my boy.
But and that's because he would never do it. But can you just give me your
I
opinion on
know.
that really quick?
On the guy who escaped, who's allegedly escaped. You know what's funny?
Well,
You
we know
know.
he escaped, and we also know he turned himself. I didn't announce this, but he turned himself back in yesterday.
Oh, you know the picture that you have as the like you know how you click on it to watch it. Your
The
face,
thumbnail.
you're like
Yeah,
yeah, you're like yeah, right.
yeah.
That was funny. I was just laughing about that. That's what I was giggling about because I thought about that picture. Um, him escaping. Is it possible if he was in a camp, he could walk out? If he
Yeah,
was in a camp,
he was in a medium.
he was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I thought
so
the same thing, and I actually Googled it during the video.
I mean, like we were in a meeting, the meeting where we were at in McKean, right? We can not that it wasn't. I mean, a very determined person can do it. I mean, I don't know if you said he had health issues. I don't know how what kind of physical shape he was in, but you know that like it's like probably like 8 feet round of barbed wire on top of the fence at mediums. I'm pretty sure they're all standard done the same way. So for him, and it's two fences. There has to be in a medium. There's two fences before you can get to the outside. So I mean, for him, hey, if he did that, he's a bad dude. But um, my perspective about the reason you mean why would I do it? Like, let's say, I mean, I don't know. His mind state is like if he felt like he was dying and he has diabetes and he has these issues that would make it easier for him to die from coronavirus, then I mean, in the face of that, I mean, it's right. What's the number one rule of nature? What is it called?
Fight or flight.
Self-preservation.
Uh,
Self-preservation. So if he felt like he was gonna die to like soon, if he didn't do this, then or maybe he felt like he was gonna die and he had to see his family. I don't know. Because if you die in there, you're not seeing anyone. You go to the hospital and you die from COVID, you're not seeing anyone. Your family's never gonna see you again. So it's like, I don't know, his determination. Is it possible? Yes. But do I believe that I saw the interview and I mean, the way he escaped the bum lady gave him a cell phone. She's a bum. How she got a cell phone? She's sitting out there panhandling for like $1 to smoke Virginia Slims. Like, I don't know, like it seems a little far fetched. And he's in a diner with her, and if he's how far could he be if he was close by? They was like they would have announced it to all the nearby towns. You know, had pictures of him everywhere. So you know,
I
but
my perspective is this, and let's just say he did that, and I don't believe his story either, but I also completely understand why he's not telling the truth, right? If he had help or anything like that, I got it. Fine, tracking
that's
all the
fine.
way. And compassionately, I get it. But the other side of me is like, you didn't climb a fence during a water crisis and you could have died from dehydration. Now, does this make it, in my opinion, I'm not an expert and you probably know better than me because you've been there. Does this make it now worse for everybody who's trying to get home confinement or compassionate release or anything like that, because now they get to say, look, dangerous criminals are escaping and we have to keep you safe and secure, because in my experience, things are always twisted back to that, not
Yeah.
I was a sacrificial lamb and we change everything on the inside. It's more, in my opinion, becoming, you see, the bad guys need to stay inside and look what happens. And we need to flex now. That was my, and I don't think I presented that correctly during the video. I should have been more compassionate as to why I think he probably did it. I made it in
Yeah.
a quick minute right after I watched the interview, and I was kind of pissed off about it. Like, look at all the people stuck inside. You can't just have 2.2 million people hop a fence, you know? So I don't know. What do you think about that? And then we'll get to the questions. I promise, guys.
I believe that it was an isolated case though. I mean, if I
Right.
mean it would have
Correct.
been,
Correct.
it was only him.
Correct.
So nobody,
But
no one else.
no, not in that instance. Nope.
So that I don't think that would cause for, and he, it's not like he came outside and he robbed two banks and pushed the old lady on the ground. He came outside and did a video about coronavirus, which, regardless of people's point of view, I'm pretty sure, you see how you said you're compassionate to it, like, people can almost relate, would almost be like, oh my god, it's true. And if, let's say, and someone who's watching this might be interested on like reform, so they might already know how this it works inside. They might be abreast of how we're treated inside, so and they might have seen other videos too. If they saw that video about a guy escaping from prison, I'm pretty sure they saw the videos of the conditions inside.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that everyone's going to be. I'm pretty sure, even like, if let's say, hypothetically speaking, right? He's a black guy. So let's say an old white lady, right, sees that video, or old white guy, they might still be compassionate to him, like, oh my god, like, this is the reason. If they're listening to a story, he's leaving because he felt like he was gonna die because he's not getting the proper attention or the proper health care inside of prison. I mean, if I don't want to justify what he did, I don't think it's right. I don't think he accomplished anything with it, but it's still, you'd be like, shit, like, it'll make you second guess, like, shit, I would have did the same shit. Like, not me personally, but like anybody with their back against the wall, feeling like their life is, I'm out. I'm sorry. Self-preservation. You have to live. You can't. If you're alive, you can't make any change. You can't do anything. So that's the only thing that's the only way I agree with him. Not that I agree with him, but that's how I can, like, put myself in his shoes, per se.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that perspective, because I got a lot of heat on that video. Okay. So, first question. Did you have a bunch of pen pals? How many of those friendships turned into something more? And do you still keep in touch with those people today?
Pen pals.
Yeah.
People that I met while I was inside.
Yeah.
I didn't know them prior to going in.
Yep.
No.
You didn't have any?
I met one person and it was this funny situation.
Did
No,
it
I don't.
turn romantic?
It
In
did,
the
and then but it was no. Oh, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. Okay, 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 okay. I can say this now. I'm out. When I was in, Fort Dix in, like, around 2010, I had a phone, so I have Facebook and stuff. So it was, so yeah, I did. But I guess that would be the new age pen pal, right? Through email, text, and stuff like that. That would be the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you meet people, but relationships, it fizzles away. I mean, I don't know, unless, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to maintain that because, like, and I had him come visit. I got like two visits once from somebody I met, and it was cool. But then I got transferred, so it kind of just fizzled away. I went to the hole, and then I got transferred, so it fizzled away. But no, haven't maintained any. The friends I have now are friends either that, like, that I was there with in prison, or people that I grew up around.
Okay.
Not anybody. No.
Okay. Now, this next question is almost the same thing. Did random people write to you? You kind of
No,
answered that. Yeah, you kind of answered that.
not random. I would get friend requests from people I didn't know, and then we'll talk, but not anything like that.
Did did you do anything specific to get through your time? Like, how did you pass your time? Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up for Pucci.
Hello? Hold on. I can't hear
Hey,
you.
can you hear me
Can't
now?
hear you.
Can you hear me now? Still?
Can't
Can't?
hear you.
Now? Can you hear me now?
Could you? I can't hear you. You hear me?
Now I can. Can you hear me?
I
No?
can't hear you.
We might have to start again.
Can't hear you.
Still? Hold on, hold
Dang.
on. Hold on. Did you put me on mute?
Nope.
You still can't hear me?
Can't hear
Sorry,
you.
guys. Still can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Still? Can you hear me or no?
Nope. Hold on. Stay right there. 1 second. Hold on.
Okay,
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 you keep talking to them. Hold up.
okay. Can you guys let me know in the comments, can you hear me? It might You can hear us both. That's so interesting. Okay, Pucci's gonna fix his audio and come back. Let me know if you guys if you have more questions. We might have to restart this. I'm not sure. He just popped off, as you could see. His screen just disappeared. So we're using a third-party site. And oh, I think he's back. Bro, your connection is weak. Okay, let's look. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me.
You hear me now?
Okay, wait, let's see. Yes, can you hear me?
All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
I don't know what happened.
They're saying my connection is
So what
weak.
was it?
Okay, I'm just trying to re-log in. So the question was, did you do anything specific to get through your time?
Yeah, I became the best version of him, of me. I just no. I mean,
That's awesome.
uh, in the beginning, it was like like I'm still like doing all the dumb shit, like smoking weed still, and uh, just doing all the
Well, it's
just
legal now in New Jersey, isn't it?
gambling. Yeah, is it? No, I don't think so. Not yet. Medically, it is. But anyway,
Oh, okay.
I was still doing all that stuff, like just. But then when I went to the hole, I was in Fort Dix, and I went to the hole, and I got shipped to McKean, and then when I got to McKean, that's when I got into like the whole life coach, the program where that Adam and Cantu and Keith all started, and that's when I really was like started like purposely living. So yeah, to get through my time then, I was like studying and reading and learning and teaching and facilitating classes, all that, creating curriculum, everything we were doing to well, I guess everybody doesn't know that. Well, so we were there was a program in McKean where I was at that was called that the Institute for Life Coach Training came into the prison. Not necessarily came in, but um Miss Folk, Miss Folk, she was the or what she was her position? She was assistant warden. She was a life coach, and she brought this program in, and she taught your husband, Adam, like those the few core guys, those about 8 guys. They went through the program, and then after they became coaches, they started teaching the course. And after like a couple years, then we started creating we created curriculum that was all based around life coaching and purposeful living, and that was it. So I went through the program, became a coach, started teaching classes, and that was that in a nutshell. So
That's
yes, that's how I
amazing.
got through my time.
That's incredible. And you did it so positively and constructively, which is wonderful because I always say there's two ways. I think we've talked about this before, but there's two ways that you can go through it. Either, like you said, gambling and doing drugs and all that stuff, or you can be productive and kind of ensure when you get out, you're not going back in, and you're living proof of that. So, you guys, if you posted
Wait,
questions earlier,
hold on.
sorry, go ahead.
In my defense, well, not my defense, but people smoking weed is not doing drugs.
Correct. Yeah, that's why I thought you said that you were still doing that now. That's why I turned around and said, but it's legal now in New Jersey. That's
No,
why I
not
said
now,
that.
not now, not now.
Got it.
Then, sorry, no,
Okay. That's
I'm too
okay. I
old,
agree
bro.
with you. Yeah, me too. You guys, if you posted a question before, I lost a whole bunch of questions when we had that weird glitch with the audio. So if you have not gotten your question answered, just put them again in the comments because I don't have them anymore. I did see somebody write that her daughter, this is so terrible. Her daughter was killed when she was 14 years old by two men. I know the story from when she posted on a different comment before. I think they only got like 25 years or something like that. So I think her question, it disappeared, but I was really reading really quick before it did. Are those guys, whatever, are they taken care of inside? Like, how is that handled?
Taken care of. Are
Like,
they
does
what?
something happen to those people because they hurt children or anything? Like,
Depend. Okay, there. So it was a murder. So are they in the? It was a state or was it federal or what? They're in the feds.
I don't know. The question disappeared, and I don't know if she said that. I thought she said Texas, but I could be wrong.
Well, well, anybody who like rapists, like pedophiles, kidnappers, murders, like of stuff that like kids is very like it's looked down upon in prison. So depending where they went, and I mean, and if it's murder, so they're in like they're probably in a penitentiary or somewhere that's like with a lot of other killers who are not killers of kids. So I mean, yes, that happened. Like they're dealt with. Yeah, depends. I mean, it really depends on if people know. I know in the feds you have to have like you have to have like your paperwork. Like people ask you for your paperwork. That means like they want to see the reason you're in and if you if you assisted the government and if what your charges are and stuff like that. So when they find out that you're for one, once they find out you have crimes against kids, against women, like you're isolated for one. And two, you're definitely dealt with. Most of the time, they say because in the feds is very segregated. Like I'm from New Jersey, I'm Dominican, I'm a gangbanger. So you're with whoever you sit at tables with whoever, whatever faction you belong to. So those guys are from Texas. So if they're from Texas, or I don't know the situation. They would be the people who are like their superiors or in charge of their faction. They would have to deal with them. Yes.
So a couple people asked, have you suffered or are you still suffering with any kind of post-incarceration syndrome or like institutionalization when you got out?
PTSD.
Yeah.
Like, do I put toilet paper on the toilet seat of my house?
Do you?
No, no.
What about do you notice differences like when you first got out? Like,
But I'm still bothered. Like loud noises, like when like if I hear like doors slam and stuff like that, I still like that. It's not. It's like it's just. I mean, maybe everybody does that, but and if I hear like keys jingling, I think about COs.
wow. So
Like
you think that
that happens. Like if I yeah, I mean that it's not. I don't feel like it's traumatic. Like it doesn't. I don't turn into a little ball and start like, oh my god. But yeah, there's certain things that don't go away from you. But for in my case, I have so much more positive stuff that I got from prison than negative that it doesn't that doesn't even matter. That just balances me out, I believe.
that's awesome. So did you have quirks in the very beginning that you had to work through that you noticed?
When I first got out,
Yeah.
um,
Like, I'll give you an example. Maybe this will help.
quirk.
When I was interviewing Cantu, he told me that there were points where things would just
Mhm.
get like really overwhelming for him. So he would tell his family, like, I have to go back to my cell because that's the only way he knew how to tell them he needed a break from, his family is like very, he said, affectionate and they always need to be in his business and touching him and da 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 da. And he didn't like it at first. He didn't know how to really interact with them so much anymore. So he told them that he just
Yeah,
needed a break and they would give him some time. Or like Adam said the first time when he got out of New Jersey State, He was shopping at the grocery store and he went to go reach for something on top of a shelf, and somebody passed by too close behind him and he freaked out. He dropped what he was looking for. He had to go outside. At the time he was smoking cigarettes. He had to smoke a cigarette and kind of calm himself down. We've heard a lot of those stories. So I'm just curious if you experienced any of that or if you can remember
Yeah, I don't
any of
like.
that when you first.
Yeah, I don't like people like walking real close to me or being behind me. Like that kind of like like I don't like that at all. That
Still.
bothers me like still. But not I don't know. I never really I don't feel like I even had time to, because as soon as I got out, I was like working and like I was in the halfway house. So I was being in the halfway house for like I was in the halfway house for about like 6 months. Well, I got home confinement after like 2 months. But it was I don't know, I don't remember having any of that. Really. I just what was it? There was something that I didn't, just that, like people real close to me and oh, okay, I got it. I remember. Coming out here, right? And where I'm from a small town in Jersey. So, I know most of a lot of the people here. So hearing the guys talk, like the way guys talk, they use the word, they like to use like, what's up, bitch? Like guys to each other. And I don't like that shit. Like, and you don't do that when you're in prison. You don't call another man like a bitch. You don't do that. So I used to like, I kind of like, it would make me be like, what the fuck you doing? Like, don't talk to me like that, dog. Like, and they'll be like, oh shit, yo, my bad. They'll apologize. And it was just, they don't mean anything by it, but it's just me. It's just like you don't do that. You don't say that to another man. That was like the biggest thing for me. Like the way people speak to each other, because we're men, and especially in prison, you don't have, all you have is your respect. So you don't talk down to anyone. You don't. I mean, people do it, but like you don't. You just don't do that. So when I hear when I would hear people talking like that, I'd be like it would really, that would bother me. Like talk if they directing it at me, that would bother me the most.
Makes sense. Yeah, because it's something that was kind of drilled into you for a while. So I
Mm-hmm.
get it.
Mm-hmm.
So Carly wants to know, what's your opinion of all the riots that are happening because of the virus?
There's riots happening.
Yeah, so in certain states, because they're being treated so poorly in these conditions and it just keeps
Yeah.
getting worse, they're rioting because they want to be heard.
Honestly, yeah. Look, like I became this, like I'm more positive now, and but I mean, I don't blame them. Like if it's like you don't give us what we need, like we're gonna, like if my back is against the wall and the only thing I can do, and not that they're gonna get, like not that they might get anything accomplished, but who knows? But if this is your last form of defense, then why not? Not that I mean I don't condone, like I'm not condoning it, but I'm like putting myself in those shoes. I might be rioting, honestly.
I'm with you. I understand. Okay, you don't have to answer this one. Well, first of all, for the person who said my camera quality is trash, I'm on my laptop because we're using a third party to be able to do this. So that's sad that you're more concerned about my camera quality than the amazing content Pucci sharing. Go back to Dance Moms. Somebody wants to know, you don't have to answer this, but is gay for the stay a real
Go
thing?
back to dance moms.
Well, she said she was,
Is
I don't know
who?
how I got here. I was watching Dance Moms. Is gay for the stay a real thing?
What's that mean? Like if there's guys that are like, there's people that's individually. That's with individuals. There's certain people from certain areas that there's just certain people that are like that, certain that are not. It's not forced on you. That's a myth. Like, oh, be careful, don't drop the soap. That's not true.
Yeah. That
If
like
you if
annoys the shit
guys
out of me.
if guys go in there and they're being um manhandled by other men, it's because they wanted it, not because it's being forced on them. Next question.
Did you have people putting money on your books?
Of course, I wasn't a piece of shit before I went in.
Wait, say that again? You weren't a piece of shit before you went in?
No, the people that are indigent in there is because they burned all their bridges before they went in. They shitted on their family. They wouldn't help out.
Mm.
They crossed their friends. Like that kind of those kind of people. I could have called anybody if I needed money, and be like, "Yo," but there was no need for that. Like my family, even and we didn't have a lot, but my family they did what they could, and I have friends that still were, that would just all they needed was a call. I wouldn't do it unless in the beginning when I was still playing a lot of poker. I mean, I would like yeah, hey, I need this, I need, but the people that don't get helped out are because they weren't they weren't good people before they went
I
in.
like how you I like how you talk about your evolution too, because I think the issue is not that I'm aware of. Nobody goes inside and is like, okay, I'm ready to turn my life around day one. I think you have to go through all of that to kind of come out the other
Of
side.
course.
I know Adam attributes it to the people that the paths that he crossed with people. Why are you laughing about that?
Because I thought about one time he was telling me a story when he was in the pen, and he told me he used to be smoking cigarettes on the pull-up bar while he was on the. That's why I'm laughing. And I thought when you
But
talked about
what,
evolution, that came to my mind. That came to my mind.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was not the person he is today, but nobody is when you first go in, especially when you're going in for
No,
213
of
years. I
course not.
mean, you know? So, but I love that you could talk about that because I think you're giving a lot of people hope. Somebody wants to know typically how long does it take for mail from the inside to get out?
Man, from the inside, um, it usually goes out the same day, every day, unless like so. Let's say the mailroom people leave at 3 in the afternoon, right? When like, well, I know where I was at. You can walk to the mailroom. I mean, when it's regular when it's regular, like when everything's regular and they're not on lockdown, you can walk to the mailroom and drop off mail yourself if you wanted to get out that same day because
Okay.
everything leaves every day. But now, let's say with the crisis, I don't know how they're doing it. If they're checking the mail, I don't know how they can detect corona anyway. But are they disinfecting the mail? I don't know. But I guess they use like the next day. When we were on lockdown, it would go out the next day because they would hold all the mail for the whole day, and then the night shift would take it down to the mail room at night.
What about if you're under investigation? Does that make anything different?
For your mail, of
Yeah.
course. Hell yeah, they're reading all your mail. They're
Outgoing
opening up.
and in.
Well, you can't seal it in outgoing in, and of course they're gonna read it. They're gonna check it. They might not even give you letters. If they see anything fishy, they might give you a copy of the letter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They might give the image. They'll copy it. They'll copy it, and they'll keep the original. Um, yeah, they're not. You're not getting mail.
So somebody wants to know about shower shoes. That's all she said is shower shoes question. So talk to us about shower shoes.
All about them.
Well, you have to wear them, right? Or you don't have
You
to,
have to
but
wear them to go in the shower.
do
Ew, that's disgusting if you don't wear them.
did you see
Ew,
people
you
who
have to.
didn't?
Yes, you have to. No, nobody does not. And if we saw them, anybody would give them. Yo, don't do that here. Take everybody always had extra pairs
Are
because
you
we keep
issued
like
them? You
we
have to buy
keep.
them?
Let's say no, you have to buy them, but we like everyone always has extra stuff because you never know. We used to be criminals, so people you might know might come in. So or people like okay, I'm Dominican. I was a gangbanger. I was like, and I'm from Jersey. So, like, if a Dominican guy or a Jersey dude or one of the guys that were in the same faction come in, I'm looking out for them. So we always had like a bag full of like different care packages. Like it had shower shoes, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, just certain stuff. Just depends what you needed. Nail clippers, stuff like that.
Is there anything that you miss about being inside?
Yep, facilitating classes and being around Adam.
Oh, I miss that too.
He knows that. I tell him that all the time.
Oh my God, you're making me cry. I haven't seen him since October.
I say that because I say that because to the at the end of my sentence for like my last 2 years, I was with him every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day.
Oh my God, you're
Like
making me cry so bad. Okay, keep going.
every day from like I was with him every day from like 7 in the morning to like 8:30 at night when it was recall. I mean, of course, in between we'd have to go different places, but for the most part, so and the conversations with him how they are, so it was just and everything was preparing me for my release, and it's like mentally, physically, in every way. So I miss that, and I miss teaching. I miss facilitating classes.
I'm so glad my camera's trash right now because nobody could see me crying as bad as I probably really look. Um, so how
So
can you facilitate classes out here? Let's get some
you
classes
can't.
going.
Yes, I was I was part of this when I got out. I was part of this nonprofit B Men. Uh, it's called B Men. It's just B Men mentoring. It was like mentoring kids and stuff, and it was a lot of the same. It's kind of hard. People. How do I put it? I can't join your organization and force my way of doing things. I can't
Mm.
bring it. I could do it gradually. And you know what's crazy? Almost all the positive, like it's all how you say they're all parallel. They're all synonymous. Everything sounds the same. You know. So I was helping and it felt good, but my schedule was just so crazy. I was working 2 jobs. I was mentoring. I was like, so it was like overwhelming. And then I kind of just life happens. That's what I tell everybody because dudes ask me. I speak to a lot of guys still inside, and guys just like just coming out, and look, and there was guys that we're like this close, and we just haven't spoken a while because life happens. Like now is when like I've been able to like speak more with people because everything has slowed down, but it's just like they have their day to day, and I have my day to day, and I'm trying to get all this stuff accomplished. So life just happens, and sometimes we just I'm not gonna say derail, but you just get thrown off course. And is it really being thrown off course? Because if you're thrown off course, this is the way your course was supposed to go anyway. So
Well, don't worry. When he
that's
gets out,
how
he's got
that's what
big
happened.
plans and you'll be facilitating a lot, I'm sure. So, question, is it a good idea for our loved ones to stay in contact with people who were inside before? So, I guess both sides, like when they get out, is it a good idea to keep in touch with people inside? And then when they're inside, is it a good idea for them to keep in touch with people who got out?
Yeah, that depends. According to BOP policy, you're not supposed to because you're not supposed to fraternize or associate with known criminals. But that's one thing. But it really depends the kind of people they are. It depends. I love being in contact with Keith and Cantu and speaking to Adam still, and I speak to Keith. Keith is who I speak the most to now. But and my boy Ano and Munch, and they got out there from Pittsburgh, and O'Malley. I speak to them. We haven't spoken that much lately, but but yeah, why not? But now it depends because you got to know people's intentions. Like if I'm still in the mix, as they say, and I'm speaking to people who are still in the mix, there's a high probability that we're gonna be in the mix together. All right, make sense?
Yeah, and it makes absolute sense. And I just want to clarify all of the people that Pucci just mentioned were in the coaching program together. So they were keeping each other on the right track and accountable in there. So, of course, it makes sense that that would happen out here as well. It's not people that were gambling together or doing drugs together or
Exactly.
anything like that. And that's why, to Pucci, that's a no brainer. Of course, they should still stay in contact. So I think the lesson there is if they're a good influence versus if they're a bad influence, just like anybody, inside or out.
Basically,
So, what would you
basically.
recommend for wives and family members and girlfriends out here to support their loved ones and help them get through that time?
Through that time or this time now?
Through the time that they're bed.
Just support. Know that like when we're locked up, you are our only for the wives and families, right? You're our only emotional outlet for the most part, unless you're like, you have to be a very how do you say it? You have to be very comfortable with yourself to be able to express your emotions to another man in prison. We would do it because of our practicing forgiveness and other stuff. But for the most part, that's the only prison in the whole country that had this program. So I don't know how. I don't believe that everybody else would be too keen to do it this way. So you got to understand. So back to the advice. For the most part, like wives, girlfriends, you guys are the only emotional outlet that we really have. So it's like it's funny. It's like when a woman is like when a guy has to deal with a woman and she has like her period, that she's all emotional and or a pregnant woman where she's all emotional and you don't understand why she's feeling this way because you didn't do anything, but you're still. So sometimes it's stuff that's going on outside. It might be a bitch ass CO fucking with you, or it might be just the they keep feeding us bullshit, or just stuff like that. It might be stuff that happens in there. You're our only emotional outlet because unless you're like crazy and you like fight all the time with guys in there, but you're the only people we can talk to and express ourselves. So kind of take it with a grain of salt in the way you just listen, and like because that makes people feel loved when they're listened to genuinely. It makes them feel loved. So just that, be there. Just if you want to be there, if you're gonna stay in the situation, if you committed to being in the situation, just listen to what they have to say, and just don't bring negativity. Don't overwhelm us. I say us still because I'm talking about the inmate population. Don't overwhelm your significant other with outside problems if you can avoid it, because as men, we're like, men always feel like they're the provider and they have to do this and they have to like keep their household straight. You're helpless. We're almost helpless, and they were working for pennies an hour. So if they are having a job, so that's always gonna want to force them back into the old life, because you can still sell drugs in prison. You can still do stuff to get money in prison. So them being overwhelmed with like daily life, we're not part of society anymore. We're not part of daily life. We don't like. So if you can avoid it, try not to bring it up, because all it's gonna do is overwhelm them, and then now they it's just gonna lead to it's not gonna lead to good stuff.
I love that answer. Can you have a bank account while you're inside?
Huh. Yeah, I guess why not? But not maybe not. No, no, I don't think so. Not in my name. Not if I have to go there and file a bank. If I had a bank account prior to going in, yeah, why not?
If you had a
But I don't
power of
think I can't.
attorney,
You have to visit.
I'm just thinking like I have Adam's power of attorney. Could I open one in his name or no? I guess we'd have to look into that, right?
Why wouldn't you just open it in your name and
Well,
it'd
let's
be
say I
his?
wanted to build. I'm just playing devil's advocate because I'm trying to go where this question went. But let's say I wanted to build credit for him.
I'm not sure. To be honest.
I don't know either. We'll look into that, you guys, and we'll get back to you on that. So, when you were inside, did time pass slower? And what was the main activity that you did? Which she means anything she said, doesn't have to be physical, whatever main activity you did.
I'm a Scrabble champion.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of. I used to play a lot of Scrabble. I love playing Scrabble. Um, time flew. It feels like it never happened. Not like it never happened, but it's like once you're out and like it just time flies. Time flew. Yes, I mean I know I was there, but it feels like I
So it
can't tell
flew
the
since.
difference. Oh, listen to this. I can't tell the difference between the 9 years I did in prison and the 3 years I've been out in time wise.
Wow.
I don't feel like
Oh, we lost Pucci.
sorry about
There you
that.
are. That's
I'm
okay.
getting a call.
That's okay. So you don't feel a difference between the 9 years then
I
and the
was
3
in
years.
and the 3 years I've been, yeah, I can't tell.
So, like, while you were going through it, though, did the days drag, or you're saying the whole thing flew?
The days didn't drag. I mean, they drag. Hmm. At the end, like when I was doing all the coaching and the teaching, the days were too short.
Mm,
They were too short. They were too short when we were facilitating and working out and going to taking classes of my own. Because while I was facilitating, I was finishing the program to get certified. Like I was in foundations while I was while I was facilitating classes. So it's like workout in the morning, and then I'm trying to like work out twice a day. So it's like workout, and then we have to move when the bell rings per se, like every hour on the hour. So you kind of have to like the whole day is like mapped out.
cool. Okay, so we
So
got
at that
clarification on the shower shoes. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought
no
you were
no no, I
done.
was just
It's a
gonna say
little
at
bit
the
delayed
end,
on your end.
yeah, I know. Oh, it's on me. Um, yeah, in the beginning maybe it was slower, but even then it wasn't that slow because it was like I'm like I'm still hanging where I was at in Fort Dix is real. It's a low, but it's like the facility is crazy. There's 350 inmates in each unit, one CO. I live on the third floor. I have a cell phone, so it's like we was just hanging out. We used to drink, smoke, play play poker all night. Like you didn't even lock down. There was no locks on the doors. So you'd be in the hallways hanging out. So it's like it's not conducive to positive becoming a better version of yourself because everything is like you're just confined, but it's like you're not confined.
Got it. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't my something's wrong with my
Yeah,
internet connection, and it's lagging.
yeah. You got to give Verizon.
So I have Verizon. They've just while we're in quarantine, I don't know what's going on, but it's been so slow. I'm not getting my texts. They're not delivering. They're going through 4 days later. It's a pain. So I apologize you guys for the connection if it's weird, if you're hearing it anything delayed or anything like that. But we did get a clarification on the shower shoes. So they wanted to know if you still wear them because of the PTSD. They weren't asking about them inside.
Hell no, I love being barefooted. I don't even own a pair of sandals for my house. I'm barefoot everywhere. Me personally, I just don't like it. I like to be barefooted. So no, I don't. Hell no. I never even thought about. I mean, when I was in the halfway house, obviously you still have to wear shower shoes because it's half. There's still a lot of different people. But in my house, no, there's
Yeah.
no way. No, I never had that problem. Like some guys have that PTSD. I heard about this guy, right? This is a funny story about the PTSD. This guy comes home, and before he got home, he used to. He left Fort Dix. This is a true story, and he used to have a cell phone in prison, right? So when you have a cell phone in prison, you gotta hide it. You gotta make sure the cops don't come. You have to have it really like put away good. So he comes home. He's with his wife, with his girl, whatever, and they're in the bed. And he's like, "Babe, I can't find my phone. I can't find my phone. Where's my phone?" So the guy has stuck his phone all the way between his mattress because he was so used to doing it all the time when he was in prison. That was funny as hell. We were in
That's
there crying.
hysterical.
We were in there crying when we heard the story, but it was true because we used to talk to him from the Fort Dix. Then when he finally got in contact, he lost his phone for like 2 days. He didn't know where it was at, and he had it. He
This
stuck
is
it in his mattress because he used to stick it in his mattress in prison.
That's hysterical. Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it's just old habits
So
die
some
hard
people,
if ever.
so some people. Thank God I didn't have that. I don't know. I don't know why I was. Thank God I don't have it. I didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's great. You're very strong-minded and you did a lot of work. I think that's why.
Maybe.
So I have to read this comment because we always get the Pucci fan club when when we do lives. I'm sorry, I just got to say he's very attractive. Off topic, I know. I just had to say
Who is? Nah. Who is that? 100 playing.
it.
Follow me, Riverside Pucci on Instagram.
Are you single? Do you want to disclose or no? You don't have to answer.
Mm, no comment.
Okay.
But no, I'm not single.
Okay. Somebody said start doing classes. So many people need your positive energy and knowledge.
I know. I want to. Online, I should do it. Online is not the same. Like I need the energy in the same in the same in the classroom.
Oh, here's a good one. So Melman says, I love the ink. Did you get that inside or out? Hopefully out. LOL.
Everything in. Everything.
Really?
Yeah. My back, everything. I have two tattoos I did while I was outside. This one I have on my forearm, and one I have on my shoulder. Other than that, everything was
Before?
yeah. Other than that, everything was in. And yes, I
Have you gotten any since you got out?
nope. And yes, I caught
Okay.
staph infection too once.
Tell us more about it.
So I used to play poker a lot when I was in prison, obviously, because I keep mentioning it. So I had just got a fresh tattoo, and I run downstairs. This is while I was still getting sentenced in Jacksonville. So I had got a fresh tattoo right here, and I went straight to the table and sat down and used to put a blanket on the table. And it was like, I guess it was an old dirty blanket. So I'm playing, I didn't think playing poker the whole time. So I guess stuff from there, the dirt got in there. My thing, I had like this big old green ball, yellow ball, like oozing pot. Oh, it's disgusting. They
What
had
they
to
do
like
for you?
pop it. They pop, like, no, I popped it on my own, but then I got like they had to give me a shot and then I had to take antibiotics.
How long did it take to go away?
About a week.
You have a scar?
After a week after, yeah, I still got the scar somewhere around there. I still got a scar.
So how should somebody handle the emotions when somebody's getting ready to go in?
Oh, it depends. Like it's so hard. Like one of my boys, he just violated. He had to self surrender. He should be coming home soon though. But I don't know. It depends. Is it self surrender? Is he already in? Like, are you in the county already, and then you're about the Fed? Are you in? Are you sentenced already? You know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't
Which
know. It sounds to me like he's out and getting ready to surrender, but I don't. That's just me guessing.
that's so difficult. I wouldn't know how to tell you because, well, in my case, I was like a fugitive for 4 years prior to getting arrested. So I was like, my state of mind was already like it was. I can't speak for anyone else, but so then when I got arrested, yes, I was sad, but it was such a relief for me. I was like, oh my God, finally. I can stop running. Like that shit was it was crazy to live that way. So um and then I was in the county for 9 months before the feds came to pick me up. So it was like my mind, I was already like getting ready. I was actually blessed because I thought I was gonna get like 19 years because that's what my guidelines, but there was no minimum mandatory on the ecstasy. So I only got 10 years. They gave me 5 for the gun or whatever. But um I wouldn't know. That's so hard. I mean, just uh, I wouldn't.
So
I don't. I've never been in those shoes where I'm gonna let me go turn myself in. I ran. I left the Dominican Republic when I was supposed to go turn myself in.
yeah,
So I don't know the feeling.
I can actually answer that, and I will on another video because I've coached a lot of women who know that their loved one is going to have to self surrender. I'll get involved with them. I work with an organization who they'll send me the wives of people who are getting ready to go in, and I've worked with them for like months before. One woman a year before she found me online. So I'll do that in a future video because this is already long, and I don't want to waste Poochie's time talking all about that. We'll do that in the
Okay,
future. But so know that that's coming. But somebody asked a question. They wanted to know if it's true that it's less violent in federal than state.
never been to the state, but I've been in a county, state county. But um, it depends where you go. It depends where you're at. Because look, I'm from Jersey, so I know that in Jersey, all the state prisons are like Bloods and Crips predominantly. So there's a lot of gangs in New Jersey. So, and I may say that in comparison to other states where there are not that many gangs. Um, so I would say it depends on the area you're at, and it depends what prison you're in. Because if you're in the Fed, in when guys are in the pens in prison, yes, it might not be as frequently as violent, but there's a lot of deaths. Like when it's violent, it's like killing violent. It's not. It's not like, oh, let's have a fist fight violent. So it really it depends. It depends where you're at, and but for the most part, maybe yes. I guess the Fed. Yeah. To answer her question, yes, the Feds might be less violent because it's a lot of drug offenses and there's a lot of nonviolent criminals in the Feds.
Yeah, and from Adam's perspective, he says the same thing, but he cannot stand when people say, and he's done both state and Fed time. He just says when people say things like club Fed and it's so easy there, he's like, prison is prison regardless, and it's hard. And although state time is more violent, the Feds give out a lot more time. So there, I want to say pros and cons is like the weirdest way to say it because it's jail across the board, but he's like, it's tough either way. But he also says that it's more violent inside the state.
Definitely.
Okay, do you have any good book recommendations that can be sent inside?
Yes. And for people who don't like reading a lot, it's like a short book. Like it's like 130 pages on it. It's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Dope book, dope book. And it just kind of helps you like it shows you how to like set goals and like how the little stuff that you do on a daily basis add up to becoming little by little that big goal that we all want to attain. That's a dope book. Amazing book. Are you talking about these kinds of books because like self-help books, self-development books? Is that what you're referring?
I think any book that you recommend for them to send inside.
It's the Count of Monte Cristo. That's a dope book too. If just for a regular read, if nobody ever read, I forgot the name of the author. Well, that's one of the most famous books ever, though. So you wouldn't have a problem. The Count of Monte Cristo, the Count of Monte Cristo, just for like a regular read, like just for entertainment. That's a real good book. Um, 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 Grit, Grit, by Dr. Angela Duckworth. That's a dope book. That's a real good book too. It's more of that's like a it's just how to create grit and perseverance inside of you, how to cultivate it because everybody's not born with like that drive, that determination to kind of like just continue to move forward in the face of adversity. And this book actually shows you and it depicts and it gives you examples and like hard studies from a lot of different universities on on people who have learned how to cultivate grit, like Olympic athletes, like just people who work in high intensity environments and how to just maintain the grit and make it better. Did you read that, Ro? Pretty sure you did.
I'm laughing because when I drive to visit, it's 6 hours away. So I will listen to books on audio. It's so helpful because it makes me feel like I'm winning in a weird way. Like they're not going to take the time away from me. I'm going to learn and use it. I don't know. It's just a weird like thing.
Hmm.
But all the books you're saying, they must have passed around in there because Adam recommended all those to me too. So I got through most of Grit. I don't know that I can't remember if I finished it. I must have. I really liked it.
That's a dope book. I just bought it again. I just bought both of those again. This is why they just came to mind. I went to Denver for a few weeks ago, and I just got them over there. So I
You
have
got
both.
them for the plane? You got them while you were there? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I bought them while I was there because a friend of mine. We went to the bookstore and stuff. They asked me to recommend books. I was like, that's always the first book that came to mind, just because they helped me so much, and because we created one of the courses that we created was based off of the compound effects, the theory, the theories and the way to set goals. So that
Mhm.
book just resonates. It resonates with all of us a lot. Thank you. It just resonates with all of us a lot.
Oh, this is an interesting question. Do you get to choose the amount of time for your phone call? Like, can you choose if
No.
it's 5 minutes? Can you choose if it's 10 minutes? And we know the max is 15 minutes. But you can, yeah, I think I mean, if I understand this question correctly, like Adam can call me for 2 minutes and hang up and get charged for 2 minutes, but the max you can go is 15 minutes.
15, yes, which is so dumb. I don't understand that. But yes, it's 15.
Yeah. I think if I didn't understand that question correctly, Ashley, just clarify in the comments. And I'm through all the questions. So if you guys have any more questions, post them real quick. We'll do maybe like 5 more minutes because we've been at this for like almost an hour and 40 minutes. So I want to make sure I respect your time, Pucci. We could always, if it's okay with you, set up another one. I see so many
Oh
new
yeah.
people in here. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I apologize for the camera quality and the Wi-Fi and all of that stuff. It's just been a little bit of a weird techno glitchy thing going on today. We will work on that and we'll fix it. And for anybody that sent a super chat, I can't see you guys, but thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. My boyfriend just read,
Uh,
I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Oh, it glitched. I can't see anymore. So this person, were you in Fort Dix in 2010?
yes.
Do you know John and Tony Bumgarden?
I don't know. Where they from?
Uh, she didn't say. She said that it's her dad and her grandfather.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. Are they white?
Hmm?
That I don't mean to say it like that. I said are they white because like your rate that it lets you compartmentalize a lot easier like that. But I'm not sure where they from.
No,
Like
it's understandable.
what part of the country are they from? They're from Jersey.
Let me see who. Elvira, if you could post a little bit more about their where they're a little more about them, he'd be able to let you know. It's funny that you said that because anytime somebody's in the feds and like gets around the same time, they've been to the same places as Adam, I always say the white guy that plays basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So it's understandable that you describe them like that.
He's back playing ball.
Did you take no, not right now.
No,
But I'll always say the people that knew him in Allenwood, they knew him as the white guy that played basketball because he was really good. Um, did you do RDAP?
no, I wasn't
Do you
eligible.
know how do you oh, I'm curious why.
Gun
Okay, all right.
for that.
Do you know how long it typically takes to complete?
A year.
A year, okay.
It's a year. It's a year program to get a year halfway house. Or I mean, it's a year program to get a year off your sentence. I believe,
And
if I'm not
I've
mistaken.
said this incorrectly before. You could take it at any point during, right? It doesn't have to be the final year. Am I right in saying that?
No, most of the time it's your final year.
It's the final year. Okay.
Not your final year, your final 2 years, because they get you do the year program,
Okay.
and then they take the year off. It might be more than that because then the halfway house, so it's 18 months plus a year. So it might be 18, 30 months, like 30 months out, because you go to the program, you do the program for a year, you get a year off, and then you get 6 months halfway house.
Okay.
I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
So in order to qualify, does the judge need to recommend that at sentencing? How does that work?
Yes, you
Yeah.
have to get it
Okay.
recommended as sentencing. So if
Okay.
anybody's going for them self surrenders, which they probably know already because they did their pretrial investigation, but they should always tell them they have a drug problem. If you tell your whoever's doing your pretrial investigation that you have a drug problem, then most of the time, or even during that you developed a drug problem or whatever, you can always go to your counselors, and that just admitting to having a drug problem qualifies you for
Drug or
RDAP.
alcohol or just drugs?
Drugs.
Okay. And do you know, does jail time count towards your sentence, like time served?
Depends. Oh my god, that happened to me. I didn't get 9 months because when I got locked up, I remember I was a fugitive, so I got arrested for a fake ID in New Jersey. So I didn't make bail. If I would have paid the bail, which was $2,000 and it would only been $200 with the bail bondsman back then. So I paid the bail. My Fed time would have started running from the beginning. from them 9 months. But since I didn't pay the bail, just because I'm locked up, I didn't even think about it. I waited 9 months to go to court, and then when the court released me, then my Fed time started running.
Oh, that sucks.
You know, for
9
$200. That
months.
was so stupid. nine
Oh,
months wasted in the county. Because if I pay the bill, they would have came to get me right. They would have came to get me right away because the state can't hold me. Even that I had to detain her,
oh, that
but I
stinks.
was stupid.
So that's a lesson learned for anybody that's pre-sentencing. Also,
Yeah.
Pucci keeps talking about how he was a fugitive and all that stuff in the past. He did talk all about that on our first interview. So just look back in the earlier videos with Pucci on my channel and he will go through all of that. I think it was the first one we did that you
Yeah.
explained that whole background. Okay. I think we're good because we're going on like almost 2 hours and I really want to make sure I respect your time, but
No, we started
everybody
at
is begging for you to come back.
it's just an hour now. It's not 2 hours because we started. It was like 2:05 because we were going at 1:45 and then we had the glitch. Remember? So we didn't start till like two.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I've taken up
No,
almost
that's
2
fine.
hours of your day, and I feel
No, no,
bad.
no. Don't feel bad. Yeah, I'm in quarantine. I don't do that. I'm just
Yeah.
home, so it's cool. But if you want,
Okay.
we can come back or listen to questions. It's up to you. I don't really have anything to do.
Yeah, if anyone has anything else, post thank you for that, Pucci. If anyone has anything else, post it. If not, we'll schedule another one. Okay. I don't see anything coming through. You guys, 2 more minutes maybe? We'll see.
Okay. Oh, here, bam.
Is there
See that? Where's the camera? At
it go that way. Yeah.
Riverside
A little
Pucci.
keep going a little there you go. This is Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow me. You can ask me anything you want. Got it.
Cool.
It's just Riverside
Anything else
underscore Pucci with a Y.
anything else that you want to talk about or add or that you wanted to address that wasn't asked?
Just call, okay, with this COVID stuff. If you have people incarcerated, like family, loved ones, call the place. Don't think that your call is insignificant. If you have friends, like, because I know, like, a lot of times when, let's say, you have Adam locked up, so then you might speak to one of the other girls of one of the guys that he's always with, like you used to with Patty and with well, I don't know, right? So
Yep.
get everyone that you know of people who have loved ones in there to call down there and raise hell because you're concerned about your loved ones. Where don't let them, like like what I was saying before. Like they don't give a fuck about people locked up. They're gonna let them die. So just let them know that they have people who love them and care about them and call down there and raise hell and do everything you do, everything you can do. Call congressmen, senators, anybody you can get in contact with and let them know about the conditions of the prison that your loved ones in, because 9 times out of 10 they're definitely not doing what they're supposed to do in there. They don't have enough soap, they don't have enough antibacterial, they don't have any of that. So raise as much hell as you can. If you because it's human. If somebody gets sick in prison and God forbid they pass away, you're never gonna see them again, ever, because there's not gonna be no funeral, there's not gonna be none of that.
So make the noise.
So make all the noise you can right now.
Somebody wants to know, will they tell you if they have tested positive with COVID? So if you call the facility and ask, let's say the person that answers or their case manager, if they were diagnosed, will they tell you?
I don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer that. Honestly, I don't think so. They won't. I don't think so because I could imagine the process of the health, like nurses and doctors that work in prisons is because something happened on the outside and now they have these jobs in there because maybe, let's not go there, but I heard a lot of stories about some of the nurses and some of the doctors that work in prisons is because something that happened on the outside. So now they work for the BOP. They have to disclose everything to the BOP. I'm pretty sure that once they're already preparing them for death. They're not gonna treat them. They're not gonna give them medicine. So I don't think they're gonna tell you. To answer the question, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So
I
that's
don't
why you
think
need
so
to raise
either.
hell. Write your peoples. Ask them how their health is. Write them. Ask them all the questions they need to ask, and raise hell in there because they're supposedly they have this what is it called a bill to let people come home on home confinement, or they haven't passed it yet. I'm not sure.
I think it's the safe, maybe the safe or the care, something like that. But yeah, they're starting to.
Okay. So if your loved one is short and is almost home, and and they can let's say they get out next year, and because of this they can give them a year halfway house right now. They can send them home on home confinement right now if they wanted to. And so raise hell, do it. Call anybody you need to call.
Yeah, and I could tell you from experience. I mean, from my experience with dealing with a lot of people, they've been lied to. People aren't answering their phones. I literally myself, my experience calling, not about this, but in the past, I had a conversation with somebody. He was as sweet as pie to me on the phone, so helpful. I just spoke to Adam. I'm doing this, this, and this. Adam called me maybe 10 minutes later because he was the one that asked me to call. And I was like, everything's fine. He told me this, that, and the other thing. And you know, Adam, when he gets pissed, he was like, that is a blatant, absolute 100% lie. Lied straight to my face and covered it with whipped cream and a cherry on
Yep.
top. So
BS.
9 times out of 10, we're getting lied to. They do not want us to know the numbers in there. They
They
don't want us
don't.
to know how bad it is. They do
They
not
don't.
want any of their corruption exposed. So I'm with Pucci. Keep calling, keep making noise, contact the media if you have to.
Everybody.
That's the
Yep.
only way. Yes, everybody.
The local media to wherever they're at, that would be like not necessarily the media, because if they're in somewhere in Kansas City, New Jersey media is not gonna really, but wherever,
Yes.
contact the local people to where they're at and raise hell. Have to raise hell.
Yep. Okay, give us one secret about Adam since you lived with him for so long, and then we'll go.
One secret.
Yeah.
You want me to say this?
Yeah. He's like a celebrity over here.
Um.
Something that he won't kill you for.
All right, he won't. He will. It could be. We were in McKean. Right? This is a mountain in Pennsylvania, where it gets probably like 10 below, and there's blizzards.
I
Right?
know exactly what you're going to say. Go
He
ahead.
he will not put a hat on for anything. It don't matter how cold it is. He will not put a hat on. I don't understand this. I'm like,
Why
man,
is he?
you too pretty for your own good. I don't know. He will not put a hat on for anything. I
Maybe he's a
wanted to say something else, but
say
I'm not
something
gonna
else.
say
I
it.
think he's afraid of losing his hair.
Maybe
We're
that's
like
it.
the
Hey,
vainest.
he gotta join the club.
He hadn't seen one of his friends in 10 years and he went to go visit him. And so his friend was telling me, oh, yeah, the first thing I said to him was, I thought he said, man, you look great, or man, something like that. And he said, man, you got gray. And I was like, why did you do that? That's so mean. But I
Wow.
thought the story you were, and believe me, I get it.
You could buy they got stuff you could buy in there and dye your hair.
He doesn't need to. I think men look so distinguished. I think
I know.
he looks great. But I thought you were going to tell me the story of the time that he went running outside in 2 feet of snow and got frostbite all over his ankles, him and Talib.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh
Were you
no. Oh,
there?
they didn't. No, they didn't just run in the snow. They shoveled the track. They shoveled ran the track. You get
They
it?
shoveled and then they
They sh- they
ran
were
while they were.
they were shoveling, running in the track in 2 feet of snow. You know how big that is? You know how much they're crazy. Oh, I speak to Talib too, man. Talib, that's my man. You haven't got him on here. You should get him on here. He's doing. You got to get him
No, but
on
I
here.
will. That's a great suggestion. Somebody saying, "Can you answer Mrs. Rogers?" Let me just look for Mrs. Rogers' question. Oh, what red flags do you suggest we look out for in a relationship with somebody inside? I think you answered that in every other video you did, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Should I
you
tell
guys
him?
go
Should
back
I?
and watch those. Do you want to or
I don't care. It's up to you. If you need him
okay,
to,
go
if you
ahead.
want him to watch the videos, then I won't
No,
answer
no, 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 no. Go ahead. We're here. Go ahead.
it. Except, I hate to do this to my guys in there, but I feel bad too because I'm considerate. You know what? I have my little nephew. He's in the Florida State prison right now, right? and he been there for he got a 10-year sentence too, and he done turned it into like a no, he had a 7-year sentence and he turned it into like a 12-year sentence because he's just been acting crazy. And he does this a lot. Like he victimizes himself when he needs something, when he wants money. He becomes like this victim and helpless, and you know what I'm saying. So look out for just that. Like don't don't like let's say for people in financial situations, right? Don't overextend yourself and put yourself in debt or other stuff just to like to succumb to their every whim, like their every desire, just because you love them. You get what I'm saying? Like people do that. People be
Mhm.
getting dead. They do all types of stuff just to take care of their loved ones in prison. Don't do that because we don't need much to survive in there. Honestly, is like is you don't really need a lot. So a lot of guys, and I don't know. Everybody has individual situations, but inside prison, there's a lot of guys that do drugs. A lot of guys that have gambling problems because you're able to gamble like on sports. Right now, there's no sports, but you're able to gamble on sports. You could play cards. You could do a lot of stuff. Like you could they do all types of drugs. They got everything in there. So a lot of times, guys who have addictions, and they can drink alcohol too. Guys who have addictions tend to lean heavily on their loved ones to support their addiction, right? So sometimes it gets excessive, like because hello, if they're addicts, that's what they do. So don't just succumb to their every I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that, send me this, send me that. That's a red flag. Like when you see them, like question if they're your loved ones, you know if they have a drug problem or not, if they used to do drugs or not, if they how their personality is, if they're gamblers or not. So kind of just gauge it and don't just send all your money to this person in prison because they're asking you for it. A red flag is like send it to another account. Like when they don't want the money to their account or they want you to send it somewhere else without even an explanation. Because sometimes that can happen, but a lot you look out for the BS. There's a lot of BS in between. So that when they start asking you to send money to different people's accounts, oh here, this is his number, put it on his books. That's a red flag. Um That's a red flag. If you send money to their account and then but they don't have minutes to call you, that's a red flag. Because like that's the most important thing you even want money for is for email and for the phone. Like we want to eat just to like if you're like if you're a guy if you're like I guess a stand up dude and you don't have a lot of money in prison, you make sure you have money in on your phone and your computer. You'll go to chow hall every single day instead of buying commissary just so you can have money on your phone and your computer to talk to your loved ones because hello. So that's a red flag. Like if you send them money but they never have minutes to write you or call you. I mean that's off top that's what I could think the most of because that's the only thing that would affect the red flag for people outside. It's just money for real and just
So I made a video called Red Flags in a Prison Relationship. Okay. And it was like, I don't know, like 6 or 10 things from my perspective. I'm going to send that to you. Okay. And I want you to watch it. And then maybe we could do like a reaction. If you agree with things, maybe you disagree with some things, and we can
hmm
go from there because it's really good for us on the outside to get somebody who's done time or is inside to get that perspective, because I could tell you in theory, I could tell you through my experience, I could tell you through my experience coaching people, but I can't tell you from the perspective of somebody who's been in there. So I think that would be really helpful.
okay, cool.
Cool.
Whenever you send it to me, yep.
Um, so I'm going to end with this, unless does anybody have any other questions before we go? Joe is a good friend of mine. He did time at Devon's. I don't know if anywhere else, but he said, and he's all into reform. He has a podcast called 15 Minutes With, where he interviews people for 15 minutes because they're calling from inside. Amazing podcast. You guys go check it out. Amazing person. So into advocacy, trying to help so many people right now with everything going on inside. He says, Pucci, you're really down to earth and straight up. I like you. Thanks for being honest with these people. So I think that's such an amazing compliment coming from somebody who has been in your shoes in the past And I
What's
think
up,
it's a
Joe?
great I think it's a great way to end this unless anybody has
I
anything
got
else really quick. Go ahead.
for Joe. I got, or if he wants, I got like, remember my boy that I told you about that he was doing the videos. He be doing that too. He got some. He does some different podcasts with some guys where he's from. If he'd like to get him on, that would be dope. And so he could reach out to me if he'd like to. And I wouldn't mind getting on his podcast too.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy if I just connected you guys. Why don't you hold up that sign with your handle again so Joe knows if he's still on? If
Riverside,
not, I'll text him.
Riverside underscore Pucci with a Y, Puchy.
And this is on Instagram or everywhere?
Yeah, on Instagram. It takes
Okay.
you to Facebook too.
And if I don't know if Joe has Instagram, so I'll connect you guys.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much. This was so fun. Again, I apologize for the tech
Thank you.
glitches and the camera quality and all that stuff. Pucci, it is always such a pleasure to have you on. You are the biggest star on this channel, I have to say, next to Adam,
Yeah,
because he's
right.
like the
It's
celebrity here. But
you got to get an
is there anything
iPhone. That's why your camera's like that.
I
Use an iPhone.
Well, first of all, I'm on my computer, not even on my phone. Second of all, I do have an Android, and I was just about
I
to
know.
go get an iPhone right before this whole crisis. And now this
Yeah.
is the universe like kicking me in the ass because I'm telling you, I
Order
sent
it.
somebody a text on Saturday, 7:45. On Tuesday, she texted me back and she was like, "Thank you for finally responding. I was worried about you." I was like, "No," I sent her a screenshot. I'm like, "This says that it went through 7 o'clock on Saturday."
Yeah. You got to get
I
blue.
don't know
If
what's
it's
going
not
on.
blue, it's not. If it's not blue, it's not true. Hey, you could order your phone. You know that, right? It'll come right to your house.
Yeah, but then don't you I am not the techno person at all. Don't you have to get them to hook it up and do all that stuff for you, like transfer your
Mm,
numbers? You can't.
no, no. Cause yeah, you want to switch all your apps and everything right to your phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to go to a store, but you can go to like one of the stores that are open. Any store could do that for you. If you go to like whatever service you got, Verizon store or whatever,
Yeah.
you can your phone, the number will be on there, and then they can just swap your apps over there. If you would have had iPhone, all you had to do is once you download the cloud, everything transfers over. Once you put your Apple ID in.
Well, we'll get me there
Yeah.
eventually. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Uh,
Pucci, again, thank you so much. Do you want to leave anybody? You want to
Thank
leave
you.
everybody with anything?
Just that, man. Raise hell for the people that you love because you don't know if they get sick, we might not see them again, man. So, just any friends, family, anybody you got, just do everything you can for them and try to get them home now because this shit is serious and this is not gonna go away that fast. Like life is not the same from this on. Life will never be the same for any of us. So just care about the people you care about. That's
Kelly
it.
made me laugh. She said us old people need the people in the store to transfer everything. Yes, we do.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy,
All
stay
right.
strong. Love you guys and see you in the next one.
Bye, everybody. Bye, bro.
Bye.